the big, beautiful, like waterfront park that I'd go to regularly to keep sane during this period is closed to the public. So
yeah, it's like a friggin' match unit too.
Yeah, but we have taken a couple drives to parks in the area.
Yeah, you got to.
Yeah.
They shut down all the parks in California.
Oh,
Did
God.
they? Like
after the weekend.
Every park, like even like little small ones, or
just every state park.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Nope. Great idea. Glad you guys set this up.
I'm pumped. No.
Mm-mm. I mean, I had to make some room in my real clogged up schedule, you know. I just
I stopped playing Animal Crossing for this, so better appreciate.
There's sacrifices being made all over.
I know.
You know,
Absolutely.
You can also just turn off your camera too. I mean, not that
you would never know if I was also playing Animal Crossing.
No, not at all. Definitely not.
Oh, we got a couple cats here.
No, he just popped into the background. So
cats everywhere.
Want to meet my pet?
Oh goodness, we got them everywhere.
Just
yeah.
There we go.
His name is Bones.
This is Rufio.
Started his life as a Halloween decoration, but he just lives here now.
Well, that's a good way to be.
Bones and Rufio, and this is Roxy.
Oh,
good stuff.
Roxy.
Kitties.
Yeah, it's been great because she's got people around her all the time now, which is awesome.
Okay, just making sure. Sam's here. I'm just making sure she doesn't change.
Yeah.
Good idea.
You know.
All right, so I think
you guys see that video of there was like a Spanish woman and she was or Italian, I don't remember, but she was giving like a newscast from her home and her partner walks in like and he's not wearing pants, he's just wearing like his little tidy whities or his briefs or whatever, and he's asking her for something and she's like, go away, and then he runs into a wall and he falls over. It's very, very good.
That's incredible.
I'll post it in the group somewhere if I can find it.
Anybody on the Tiger King bandwagon
just
yet?
All my friends, man, they post about it in the group chat constantly.
It was very addictive, and we tore through it very quickly.
Yeah, we did too, because I was like, I'm just tired of hearing everybody talk about this and not knowing what the hell is going on. But
yeah,
it makes for interesting television.
That is for sure. That is for sure.
All right, guys, I think we are gonna go live here, and I'm checking.
Boy.
So
anybody
are
else
you
coming
gonna? Mushaka was supposed to, who plays Shema, but he unfortunately is getting tested right now.
I just saw that on the.
Yeah. So, and then Cornelia said yes, and Cheryl said yes, but they're not here. So.
Also, for those of you that I don't know, I'm Leanne.
Oh yeah,
I helped out.
Let's go around and do. So first, if anybody's watching, hi, thank you for joining us for this Windfall live stream. We're trying something new. Everybody is trapped inside of their homes, and we figured might as well try to hang out with everybody. Maybe revisit the series after it's been over a year since the episodes first started airing, and thought it might be a nice thing to be able to hang out and get to listen to the episode together and hang out. So
Yeah.
why don't we kind of go around and introduce ourselves for like who we are and what we've done for the podcast. So first off, I'm Adam Raymunda, and I worked on. I was a producer, the composer, and audio engineer, and the host of the show.
I'm Bob Ramonda. I am the co-creator, co-writer, and co-director of the show.
I'm Michael Antico. I play Isaac, and this is Roxy. She does not play anybody, but she is here for morale.
I'm Leanne. Oh, go ahead. Did somebody start talking?
Go for it.
Okay. I'm Leanne, and I helped out with some of the post-production in the later episodes, just helping with some of the audio cutting and stuff.
Oh, cool. I'm Josh, and I play Captain Root on Windfall.
And we have a few people in our chat. Our cousin Emily is here. Dan Toy is hanging out. Leslie Gideon's here.
Where is this chat? Is it in the YouTube link?
Yeah, it's in the YouTube link.
Find it.
So I figured we could kind of maybe listen through the first episode, because it's honestly been a very long time for me since I've listened to it. Maybe since I published this episode, I have not revisited it, so it's gonna be an interesting listen for me. Has anyone else revisited it all before this?
Not recently, no.
It's been
for a little
for me
while.
too, yeah.
Yeah, I probably listened to this more than anyone else because I was editing all of this for so long. But I'm definitely interested in getting to hear it again because it's been a while. So
Yeah, I think I've heard every part of every episode at least a dozen times.
Yeah.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. So I'm gonna flip the stream back over. I'm gonna test this, guys, and see if you can hear this. Someone in the stream, do me a favor.
Fellow Proximans,
Trailer right now.
it
Can
is
you guys
my
hear this?
pleasure to bring you this royal address from our divine
You guys
Queen
can't,
Wanda.
Okay.
Oh no.
No.
Do we want to we could maybe put our headphones in somewhere? Would that help?
Maybe give me a second here. Hold on. I think this may fix that problem for you guys. Can you hear me?
Looks like Emily joined the Zoom call.
Oh, Emily Battles.
I
Hi.
made it.
How are
My
you?
meeting crashed, so I'm fucking done. That was the first day of my life. I'm drunk. This isn't tea.
Amazing. We are live, so hi, hello.
Oh shit, sorry.
So welcome.
Everyone deal with the Rona in your own way. This is not recommended.
Yeah.
Hi, world.
So Emily, why don't you tell us who are you and what part did you play in making Windfall?
Perhaps fitting. I played Helena, everybody's favorite rogue.
Yes. Oh my God, Helena definitely would be a rogue if there was a D&D class for her.
A little chaotic good, never hurt anyone.
Oh man, should we do a D&D fan cast of
Yes.
who everybody in the
Yes.
cast or everybody in the Windfall crew would be? Oh man, I'll think about this while we listen to the episode. I'll get your stat sheets to you by the end.
Oh my God, you're my new best friend.
Everyone roll in the meantime.
Roll it
I
in.
have a lot of dice right next to me.
Amazing. All right, I'm gonna test this one more time to see if you guys can hear this stream now. So I'm gonna play part of the trailer.
Ooh. Fellow Proximans, it is my pleasure to bring you this royal address from our divine Queen Wanda.
Hello. Contact.
Cool. So you guys can hear that. Great.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna flip this over. We're gonna the stream is just gonna hear or just
I'm gonna mute myself.
I've got it, Cat! Watch out! I've got it! Damn it!
Argus, you little shit, you said you had it.
I did have it, Cass. If you'd only stayed out of the way, I would have gotten it.
You couldn't hit that thing if it were tied down in front of you.
Fighting amongst yourselves is absolutely going to feed us tonight, boys.
Shut up, Shema.
No, honestly, keep bickering. Scare all of them off. Uncle Vern will love that.
I've got it!
I've got it!
I've got it!
I've got it!
Woo!
Yeah!
That was my kill and you know it. You saw it, right, Shema?
You only slowed it down. I had the finishing blow.
Will the two of you just bag the thing? If we can cook it fast enough, we'll be able to eat and bring Gert some leftovers before the bar closes.
You want to claim the kill? You carry it home. About time you started pulling your own weight.
Hey, that's not fair and you know it. I run as many deliveries for Vern as you do.
You keep telling yourself that.
Hop to it, Runt.
I swear to Wanda, Cass!
You'll what, Argus? Ask that magical cloud princess to send one of her yellow boogeymen after me? I'm shaking in my boots.
Do you ever shut your mouth for a second? Even one? Now help him up, take the bag, and I swear, if you bruise that thing, I'll snap your neck myself.
I'd like to see you try, Buzzkill.
You alright, buddy?
Yeah, I'm alright. Thanks, Shema.
Now, follow the idiot, and let's go. I'm hungry enough to eat my own arm at this point.
Hey, Uncle Vern.
Gas, my boy. Where are your brothers?
Who cares? Look what I got.
Holy, all of us will be able to eat for a week.
Don't listen to this one, Vernon. That was Argus's kill.
It'll all be. That true, boy?
Swear to Wanda.
It was me. That baby's nothing but a bottom feeder. Look at all the slime he's covered in. Couldn't hit a target if he tried.
Wanda, damn it, Cass, I swear.
All right, which one of you is trying to pull one over on me?
Don't let Cass fool you. All Argus.
Well, then, Argus, you get first pick. You want the thigh?
You read my mind, Vern.
Whatever. I've got somewhere to be anyway.
Oh, stop being a sore sport and help me cook. Nobody makes a spice rub like you, Cass.
Ha! Not hungry. But thanks. Save something for me when I get home tonight.
Your loss.
I'll do it, Vern.
Big baby.
What's gotten into him? Where does he go all night long?
Hell if I know. Probably off to see that Kendall. Never trusted her. She always seemed like trouble.
Don't blame Kendall, Shayma. Cass has been that moody for as long as I've known him.
I suppose you're right.
Were you able to get the hydrolator up and running, Vern? And did Willem stop by with that payment he owes us?
Not while we eat. Go and lock up. We'll talk later.
Argus is man enough to hear about the business.
Yes. Not now.
Queen to Rook 4.
And with preparations going the way they've been, we should have the new garrison fully trained and ready in time for the Contact Day festival, provided Pavlima can move swiftly and get us those new robes in time.
Knight to Bishop 7.
Speaking of, I looked into it, and if you'd only entertain Mr. Chasma's offer of service, we could have triple the amount of uniforms that we need in an entire year, done in a week's time.
Those rats have a quicker turnaround time because their product is garbage, and you know it. Pavlima's cloth is both blade and bulletproof, and impossible to counterfeit.
Pawn to Pawn 3.
If we went with anybody quicker than that, it would be a waste of time and money, since we'd have to pay her to do it over anyway. Now shove off. We're playing a game here.
Of course, ma'am. But this is important. I have a tally of the extra vendors anticipated, along with a forecast of how many tourists we're expecting to show up the week before the festivities start.
And I thought we'd already talked about this. The Wolfpack is here to oversee things for me, so I can spend some extra time by myself.
Yes, Wanda June, I understand that, but you also requested progress reports.
You have a communicator route. Knight to Rook 4.
Bishop to Pawn 8.
Yes, I understand that, but yours is never on.
Checkmate.
You cheating rustbucket. I told you to never make that move again. Fancy a rematch, old friend?
Ma'am, this really isn't the time for games.
Why, of course, Wanda June. And Root, may I ask how many new recruits Wanda said we needed?
At least 11 more pairs of boots on the ground by the opening ceremony.
Do you remember our conversation from last night, Wanda June?
How could I forget? Root, we need you to double that and add one more for good measure.
23 new recruits in 6 weeks. Forgive me if I'm overstepping, ma'am, but that's both impossible and entirely unnecessary.
While you may venture to think that, Captain, my calculations say otherwise. We, of course, both expect another successful year, but bringing in this many tourists at once always attracts some more unsavory types.
Okay, but isn't 23 a little high? Every sector in both the North and East Towers, where the majority of the festival will take place, are at capacity, with only a few recruits to go to fill up both the other towers as well. Where else could possibly require stronger presence?
The surface has been woefully underpoliced for many years now, as Tin Man here tells it. It seems there's been a wild spike in illegal activity among the locals. Isn't that right, Tin Man?
That is correct.
I assure you, Your Highness, there hasn't been a single whisper of resistance from the Grounders in the decade I've been in charge of this organization. We are more than equipped to deal with any rabble-rousers who feel are overstepping their bounds.
Well, there's one man in particular, Root, that we'd like to get our hands on. A certain loan shark with his fingers in weapon smuggling and the drug trade, as I hear. Someone named Isaac. Was it?
That's the one, Wanda June. And if you were smart, Captain, you'd hire a local for this assignment. Somebody who knows the lay of the land down there a bit better than you do.
Isaac is certainly a special case, but I promise that...
Root!
Yes?
You can go now.
But
I believe Her Majesty has given you an order, Captain. Fulfill that order, or you and I will have to discuss the termination of your contract. I'm sure there are other eager pups looking to assume the position of Alpha Wolf.
Why, of course, sir. Forgive the imposition.
One more game.
We're mere weeks away from the 20th 10th anniversary of Contact Day, and citizens from all over the planet Proxima are already making their way to Windfall City for the celebration. Proximans everywhere are clamoring for a seat at the East Tower coronation in hopes to get a glimpse of our beloved Queen Wanda, some for the very first time in their lives. Her Majesty, whose divine castle appeared in our sky and changed our lives forever on that fateful day, will grace us with a rare treat of her presence.
Shut that off. I can't listen to that shit.
Shut it off! I got it, you two. Enough.
Can I get another Gertie?
Somebody must have had a day. You sure about that?
I pay you to get me drunk, not to ask questions. Now let's have that beer.
All right, that's fair.
How long have I been coming here anyway? A year? 2?
Helena, you've been coming here since your tentacles were barely to your shoulders. And now they're halfway to your ass.
And in all that time, have you ever seen me make a fool of myself in this bar?
Well, there was that one time.
Hey, we do not talk about that.
Oh, you mean the time she got up on the bar and...
Hey! I said we don't talk about that!
We heard you.
Gert may have another. Have you ever had the kind of day where no matter how hard you try to stay positive, it's like every single person who walks through that door's goal is to break you down? But they're the ones that pay the bills, so you keep trying your best to be happy in front of them, but really, deep down inside, you're screaming? You know, one of those days.
Isn't that every day?
I don't think I'll ever get used to it. How did you? People are terrible.
Well, I have a clear advantage over you on this one, Helena. This here bar is mine, and every grounder knows it. If anyone ever walked in here and tried to give me a hard time, well...
They'd have us to deal with,
That's right. You've got a nice setup. I really do envy you that.
I won't lie. I could never do your job. Spending all day helping those nosebleeds? No, thank you. I'm fine down here with my own people.
Ah, Gert. We love you too.
Cheers.
Benny, aren't you supposed to be cleaning something up?
Ah, but she's the one that broke it.
You're the one who made her do it. Now clean up. You know my rules.
You're the best kind of bartender, you know that?
Oh yeah? Why's that?
Not only do you water down this cheap swill so it's bearable enough to drink, but you've got every one of us lowlifes coming back night after night just to get a little taste of what life could be like if we didn't live in the filthy fucking depths of this towering metal city.
Lowlifes? Someone tell that foreigner to find her own place to get drunk.
What'd you say to me?
Gertie, do me a favor and tell the freak to mind her manners.
I'd watch your fucking mouth if I were you.
Oh, yeah? What are you gonna do about it?
Come over here and I'll show you.
Benny, get the hell out of here, you jackass. Come back when you can behave yourself.
Oh, Gert, are you serious? We was only playing around.
Go on, Benny, get.
Fine, I'll go. I'll see when I'm not wanted.
Gonna be okay to do this?
Right, because you're some shining beacon of light, eh, Kendall?
Hey, I'm serious. If you're going to be distracted, don't bother coming. I'd rather collect and take the 8% all to myself.
I'm fine.
You sure?
Stop wasting time and let's go. Who's the mark?
Here's the thing. Kaz, I talked to Isaac and...
No, not today, not yet.
We can't keep putting this off. A debt is a debt is a debt, no matter who it is that owes it.
I told you I'll be the one to take care of that. Who else?
Well, the cut's smaller, but there's always Benny.
That drug isn't good for anything, and you know it.
We'll see. Let's go.
Lead the way. You ever think about how exactly we got into this, Kendall?
So we can eat something besides the bottom feeders you catch in the sewers? Drink something other than the swillier ant petals? That's reason enough for me.
I'm serious. Your parents, my parents, the things they did to keep us alive, They died fighting to give us a future. And now we beat the shit out of other grounders for a few extra credits.
It doesn't do either of us any good to dwell on that stuff.
What would your dad say? What would mine? They stood up for people like us.
I don't have time to sit and wonder what my dad would or wouldn't say about my choices. It's thanks to his choices that I'm alone anyways. I don't have a family like yours, Kaz. If I don't look out for me, who will? Would you look at that? Just the degenerate we've been looking for.
Why, hello, Ben.
Oh, evening, Kendall and Cass. I don't know if Isaac told you already, but he gave me an extension. In fact, he mentioned you might be coming with an advance.
Well, isn't that convenient, Kaz? An extension and an advance.
Well, you don't believe me? I wouldn't lie.
Whoa, take it easy, Kendall.
Where's the money?
Swear one to Kendall, I was on comms with Isaac seconds ago, and he said you have so much money you don't even know what to do with it.
Hold him, Kaz.
He was begging to give some more away.
Is that really necessary? He can barely stand as it is.
Are you gonna do your job? Damn it, I knew you'd be useless today.
I'm kidding around, Kendall. Cass, give me another week. I promise I'll have the money.
I've got him. Take it easy, would you?
Wait, no, what are you doing? I swear, I was only kidding. 2 days. I can get it to you in 2 days.
This is your last warning. Money tomorrow, or next time Isaac comes himself.
Okay.
I don't know who we are anymore.
We're employed. Now grab his wallet, or do I have to do everything around here?
I've got him. He's barely got 10 credits in here. Fuck!
Why, hello, officer. What can I do for you this evening?
Sorry, Kendall.
Get the fuck back here!
Sir?
Let him go. She's the one we're looking for.
Terrible. You see some kind of ghost on there tonight?
Could everyone stop telling me how bad I look?
You know I love you, Pinhead, but I couldn't lie to you.
Hey there, Cass. Would you mind telling your aunt to quit being so uptight about my smokes?
I can't have you stinking up this place again. Wolfpack almost shuttered me the last time you lit up.
To hell with the Wolfpack.
Amen to that. I don't get what's so wrong with a little bit of medicinal herb once in a while.
I'm not saying I agree with them. I'm simply saying I've got to keep the taps flowing. The last citation they gave me said the fumes caused irreparable damage to the apartments on the upper floors.
That is some shit. There's no way that could have gotten any higher than 30 feet above us.
I agree. You know the wolves, though. Anything above ground level is high class to them. And besides, it still cost me 300 credits. Speaking of which, I've been thinking about your tab.
Whoa. Take it easy there.
Hey, Gert.
Shema, Argus, how are you boys tonight?
I brought you some dinner, Gertie.
Smells good.
So why don't you pour us around? We saved you the breast.
My pleasure.
You all right there, Cass?
Keep your mouth shut, twerp.
I was trying to be nice.
Do me a favor, and next time you consider doing that, don't.
Would you relax? Quit being so tough.
Like you can talk. You're nothing but some lapdog, doing everything at Vern's beck and call, bowing your head down to the wolves. Where's your spine?
Same place as always, last I checked.
Well, at least I do something to keep this family afloat.
Excuse me? I've been picking up your slack left and right lately.
Ha, that's rich. The run of the litter thinks he does anything worthwhile.
At least I don't stay out all night and come home smelling like a corpse.
Yeah. What in Wanda's name do you do to help anyone but yourself anyway?
So much more than you'll ever understand.
Could the three of you shut up long enough to give me my dinner?
Oh, yeah, of course. Sorry.
Ugh, what is that?
You don't want to know where it came from.
Bottom feeders from the sewers underneath Uncle Vern's.
You know, they're a bit chewy, but if you've got the right condiments, they are not that bad.
Yeah.
That's disgusting.
Oh, like you're one to talk. What were you eating in here last weekend?
Tree nut loaf.
Ugh. Oh, by Wanda. None of those words have any business being in a sentence together.
Oh, yeah, but bottom feeder and condiments do? Swear to Wanda, the scent of burning flesh makes my skin crawl. And what did they ever do to you, huh?
Infested our sewers for one.
Didn't you ever think about the fact that they inhabited this land first? Before these stupid towers were ever built above us?
You know, they chewed through our pipes for another.
They weren't sewer vermin. They actually roamed the forests. And the communities that they built within the local underbrush were fascinating. I could show you some diagrams from my shop.
Nobody here asking for a history lesson.
Yeah, Helena. Our family's been here since before the towers too, you know.
And it was still a city then. Smaller, sure, but it's not like before Wanda, our parents lived in tree houses.
History goes back a bit further than our progenitors, boys.
Sweet dreams, my little Proximans. Love you fast approaches. Please don't let my wolves catch you outside after lights out. Your loving queen, Wanda.
All right, everybody, time to go home.
Come on, Gert. One more for the elevator ride back up.
I'll see you tomorrow, Helena.
All right. But I am bringing you one of those diagrams. You can hang it right up there behind you. Might keep y'all from killing and eating such smart critters.
Oh, of course. Night, Helena. Enjoy your nut loaf.
All right, you two. Go back to Vern's. I'll be back shortly.
You have something to say you can't say in front of us?
Cassius, please. Not right now.
Hey, Cass.
What now, Argus?
Who's Gertie's friend?
Keep dreaming, buddy.
No, I'm serious. Who is she?
I know you are. I am too. Leave it alone.
Something's going on with Cassius, Shema.
He's just angry now, thinking about Mom and Dad. He took it the hardest. I had a good 15 years with them, and Argus doesn't remember a thing, but he only had 5.
Your mom and dad died 20 years ago.
I know, but he feels like he got shafted, so he's lashing out.
Your parents, they were good people, but the decisions they made were selfish.
You don't have to tell me that, Gert. Vern's been plenty honest with me about what they did.
Look, I don't mean to be insensitive, but the boy should be used to his lot in life by now. He's not some moody teenager. Something about this feels, I don't know, different.
It'll pass. It did for me, didn't it?
I suppose.
Oh, boy. Now, officers, I don't know what you thought you saw, but Benny and I are old friends. It was merely a silly drunken argument. I'm sure you can relate.
That's right. It was just sorting things out.
Did we ask you to speak?
No, you did not. I just thought I'd offer an explanation, fully cooperate however I can.
If I have to ask you to shut your mouth one more time...
Stand down, recruit.
Yeah, that's right. Stand down, recruit. Let Dad and I talk.
It's Kendall, isn't it?
Who's asking?
Why, the Wolfpack is. And we've got a proposition for you.
The fuck would a couple of wolves possibly want with grounder trash like me?
Actually, quite a lot. And I have a feeling you'll like what you hear, but I need you to come with us first.
I'm listening.
Windfall is a Rogue Dialogue production. It was written and directed by
Bob Raymunda
and Christy Donato.
Sound design, mix, and score by Adam Raymunda. Here's our cast in order of appearance.
Marcus Stewart, Argus.
Cornelius Moore, Cass.
Mushaka Benson, Shema.
Bob Frame, Vernon.
Michael Larkin, Tin Man.
Josh Rubino, Root.
Jess Clark, Wanda June.
Katie Vaughn, newscaster.
Emily Battles, Helena.
JP Miller, Benny.
Mallory Roach, Kendall.
Cheryl Mordaunt, Gert.
And
Casey Callahan, guard number 1.
casting direction by
Clara Lopez.
Produced by
Bob Raymunda.
Christy Donato.
Adam Raymunda.
And Michael Pawnowski.
Our cover art was designed by
Sam Twardy.
Find out more details about the show, characters, and world of Windfall by visiting our website, windfallpodcast.com. If you enjoyed our show,
Oh my god, you guys! We're so good!
Thank you so much for listening, all.
Sorry, I came late.
No worries. Introduce yourself for the people that are here watching us.
Hello, folks. I am Cornelius Moore. I voice cast. Wow, I don't even know what to say. I really don't. It feels like it's been forever since I've seen all of you.
I know it's been so long. Before we shoot to any questions from the audience, I've got a question for everybody here, and that's for the cast particularly. Who's your favorite character that isn't your character?
Oh, god damn it!
Yeah, because I mean, I know you're just gonna say yourself.
Yeah, obviously.
No.
We all know what you're gonna say.
I actually I like Argus's character more than I like my own character. The reason I say that is because he's just so innocent and naive, and I think that is like the greatest thing. Especially being a father, like seeing the innocence in my kids, like just seeing how innocent Argus is just pure. And it's weird. It's weird. It really is.
And it has been determined in the group chat that Argus is a bard. I know we were talking about the D&D thing beforehand.
Yes.
Argus is a bard,
Yes.
but he rolled really low on charisma. So like he
The good one.
He's the worst bard ever.
I just
he wants to be a people person so bad.
and everyone's just like, why are you here? What do you do? He's like, I got loot. And he's like, the people are like, do you know how to play it? And he's like, no, but I got loot. And they're like, well, why? Oh, jeez. Huh.
All right, Battles, you.
I would have to say Sylvie. I totally obligated because bestie, but also I think that in terms of like a really interesting character arc, granted, hopefully no spoilers, everyone's listened. I mean, her arc is cut short, but I think she like goes through like the biggest change throughout the story. So I think it's arguably like one of the more interesting characters to follow.
I can see that. I can definitely see that. Dang.
Josh.
That also, like, I have so many other characters, man. Oh, man.
Who we got, Josh?
Oh, Wanda. Wanda is my favorite character. That is not me. I love Wanda every time she is on scene. She is fantastic. She is the most ridiculous villain, and I love her so much.
Yeah, she just has this delight about her that's so menacing and thrilling. Like every scene that is with her, I enjoy.
And it's like such a deft thing in terms of writing to have a villain that like people love. You know what I mean? Like just traditionally you're supposed to hate the bad guy, but here you like she's infectious. You know what I mean? Like you can't help but love her.
Part of it is also like she never seems to be like fully in control. You know, she's that like child queen kind of thing. So it's like she's the bad guy, but like, is she? Like she doesn't, is she really in charge? Is she?
Yeah.
I don't know. Like
wait for season 2.
Michael, what we got?
I think he may be frozen.
Well, then Adam, how about you? Other than your various cameos, who's your favorite character?
Other than guard number 3.
Yeah, it was a bunch of the guards.
Because regards.
Oh yeah, we lost Antico. So I think I'm definitely very attached to Helena's character and just like the development that goes on and the like mostly downs that she goes through, but somehow maintains some kind of positive attitude throughout that, and I just love it.
Leanne, have you got a favorite character?
Oh man, I came into this a little bit later because I started listening to the show and listened to like the first couple episodes, and then I like emailed Bob, I think. Or no, it was Adam had posted on Twitter asking for help with the editing the later episodes, and I was like, I don't know anything about it, but I want to help. And so it was really fun, but I also probably will have to hop on the Helena train here. I texted, did I send Adam a selfie when I was editing, I mean, no spoilers again, I guess, but a later episode in the season, and I just sent him this selfie of, I was like weeping while trying to edit. And anything that gives me that sort of emotional connection to any work, it's just like, it's very good, and excellent acting as well. All of you guys did a really amazing job. It was an honor to get to hear your voice so much while we were cutting that.
It was just such an amazing cast across the board. Like, it's not even fair to ask, really, because like there were no weak links. It was just usually when you were talking about this. Usually when you do a show, there's like someone in the cast that are like, yeah, but this guy. But like literally, the cast was so big, and the talent was just insurmountably huge.
Yeah, at our little summer camp that we had, which was almost 2 years ago now. We were in that hot, stuffy room, and yet everyone was just having the absolute best time, which was awesome because everyone was really vibing off of each other. It was really great to experience it in that way, where it was just like no one was comfortable, but everyone was happy and pumped.
Yep. We knew we were doing something special. Like when you're a part of something that good, you're like, fuck it, screw it. I don't know if you, I don't care that I'm in the top of a sweltering attic. Like this is going to be worth it.
And you did have a lot of free booze there.
Oh yeah,
so
that helped.
We did do our best to keep everyone a few beers deep.
Thank you to the folks at Oma Gang for sponsoring Windfall.
Yes, thank you very much to Oma Gang for sponsoring season 1. That was
technically do that. That's fine. Don't talk about that. That's okay. Yeah, it's fine. It didn't happen. It was amazing. We had like 7 cases of beer, and everybody was just hanging out. And the fact that we all got to hang out and spend all of that time together, I think really just brought everybody together and made the connections feel that much deeper, and I think it made the performances stronger too. It's just because everybody was like so invested in each other and pulling each other up. It's great.
What's interesting, Nadia, who plays Sylvia, my best friend in the show, like I met doing this piece, and like in real life, she's legitimately one of my best friends to this day, and there's no way that would have happened without the show. So like the connections, even interpersonally in real life, are so lasting.
My favorite scenes to like watch being performed at a Windfall camp were the Kaz and Kendall scenes, just because of the massive disparity. And the fact that Mal is like the toughest Lilliputian on the planet.
My arms!
Oh my god.
Oh my god. The arms.
There's so many great one-liners from the whole show.
God.
There really is. Oh my gosh. There were way too many times where like we would make just little subtle jokes, and it just wouldn't connect until later on, and we'd be like, oh, I see what I did wrong now. because Adam was in the other room and he could hear everything. And it was just one of those things where you would say something and not even think anyone could hear you. And I'm just sitting there like, "You did that. We got you. We got it." And you're like, "Oh God."
Yeah.
But no, it was great to work with everyone.
I have way too much stuff behind the scenes where it's a lot of it is just completely indiscernible because so many people are talking at like 4 different conversations at the same time, you know, between takes. But there's a lot of good stuff in there too, and yeah, I want to sift through more of it and get some of that out to everybody because it's a delight to listen back to it.
I'm so nervous. There's so many things that I'm just like, I'm thinking back on it and I'm like, dang, did I say anything up? I might have. I don't even know. I can't remember.
Oh, I know I did.
I think
Clever boy.
One of my favorite scenes in this episode is that first scene with Root, Wanda, and Tin Man, because it lays the groundwork for so much of what's coming in the rest of the season. We hear about Isaac, and like it builds a lot of the world out there. And I think, you know, the first time hearing it through, it is a lot of information, but when you go back and listen to it again, it's like, oh, like we set up so much in that one, 3-minute scene.
But it doesn't feel like exposition. Like it was so well done. And that's just like good writing. Like Bob and Christy, like just really, really well done.
Thank you. Yeah, we wrote many drafts of all of these episodes, and it was always about like, okay, what plot lines can we start seeding from the very beginning? You know, what characters that we're not going to meet in some cases for several episodes can we have talked about, so that you know they're important, even though they're just hanging over your head at this point. Yeah.
And you learn so much. You learn so much about the characters too. Like, you learn Wanda is like naive and a bit lazy, and Tin Man is the dick, and Root is hardworking and loyal.
It's the best and the most handsome and the greatest.
Wait, rewind.
Absolutely.
Root sucks.
I was just going to say.
Root generally sucks.
I don't remember.
Does suck, yeah.
What?
Josh is the best.
I missed that.
Root. That Root. He's an insufferable twat.
Yeah, Root is.
Yeah, Bob, can you talk about how you envisioned Root initially?
Absolutely. So when I first wrote the first draft of the season, Root was written very differently. He was this gruff, angry military commander, but Josh is one of my best friends. We've been collaborating together for years, and so he was reading these scripts in their weakest stages, and I just told him, you get the pick of the litter. You can have any character that you want, thinking he'd go for one of the brothers, one of the heroes. No, he comes back to me and he immediately says, I want Root, and I'll tell you how I read him. And he sends me a voice memo after I've only written, I think, a few episodes at this point, in the Root voice that does not change between that voice memo that he sends me in 2016 as I'm scripting to 2018 when he finally records and performs it. And it completely changed the character arc. He became this conniving, sniveling bureaucrat who could be absolutely terrifying to his underlings, but just completely just brown-nosing everyone above him. And you see how he's succeeded because of how he interacts with the different people around him.
Yeah.
Well, that's also because Josh is one of the most prolific voice actors of our time.
Oh,
he's so talented.
Thank you, Battles. But
we do have a
let's
hashtag
not-
root sucks in the chat.
Yes, hashtag root sucks.
He does so much.
Very much agreed.
I'm getting a bumper sticker.
Oh.
Yeah,
Adam,
get a
she
tattoo
also
for
says
you.
your favorite are making his ego bigger.
I mean, I don't know if we can make it bigger. It's just not getting any smaller at this point.
Adam, what was your favorite piece of music to work on in this episode?
Oh yes.
It's interesting. There's a lot that's actually set up in this that I then was like, okay, I wrote all of these pieces kind of semi-aimlessly, or I was just like, well, this seems like the right idea for this scene. But the Wolfpack music that happens towards the end, or like when Root is approaching, that theme, ba-da-da-da-da, that is used over and over anytime the Wolfpack is mentioned, and it's played and recontextualized in a couple of different ways throughout the score. So that kind of set up a lot for me to be able to work with going forward in the rest of the episodes. But I think that the one that is my favorite is right before we get to the scene with Kendall and Cass, and there's like this like crunchy acoustic guitar, and it's playing the main theme, but just in a different time signature. And it's a very tiny, like maybe 20 seconds of music, but I love it.
Oh. Just to stroke Adam's ego a little bit more, I really love that transition from the like news clip into the bar. It's just so smooth. Like that scene transition is so nice because it's like we get that little bit of like exposition of what's going on, and then it's like it's really hard to do diegetic sound in a sound only medium, and you just like kind of nailed it in that moment with that scene transition. So just throwing that out there.
I will say the sound design in general, like one of the most prevalent comments I hear again and again is like, the performances are great, the music is amazing, but the sound design, like it's the quality of it is just like, there's a bathroom scene later on that you're like, am I here? Am I like, could I touch a porcelain sink? Like it's that's the tone of the world so realistically.
Well, thank you both. I don't know how to respond to that eloquently like Josh. I don't quite have as large of an ego as his. I would like to.
You do.
Maybe I just need to feed into it. Yes.
You deserve
Please
one.
shower me
You
with your
deserve it.
praise.
There you go.
Thank
There
you
it
so
is.
much.
No, Adam, you definitely did an amazing job with a lot of the sound and everything like that. Some of my friends that actually I turned on to the show through work, a lot of them, the opening sequence and everything like that, that was one of the biggest things that they would touch on. It was just like the sounds, as far as like how the show opened up and everything like that. They were really impressed with that. So that was something that I had been hearing a lot of, and it took me a while to really understand. But now that I'm more, I've seen different.
Come back.
Oh no.
We lost him.
We lost you at
Yeah,
like
come back.
different.
Uh-oh.
We can hear you again.
I hear him.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Hello? Oh, okay. So I was saying essentially, a lot of my friends that I worked with and I got turned on to the show, they actually really, really loved and appreciated the sound. They really loved and appreciated the sound. And it took me a while to understand what they were saying because I didn't necessarily listen to a whole lot of podcasts until after our show. And, once I started listening to more, I understood exactly what it is that you do. And I can say that I appreciate everything that you've done. You, Christy, everybody has done to bring this world together. Not trying to
Now that you bring up,
than,
when you bring up that very first scene, Cornelius, it just, that scene felt so magical to me in the room, listening to the three of you together, because you were all meeting, some of you for the very first time, and yet the chemistry between you, Mushaka, and Marcus was just electric from the very beginning of the three of you working together. Can you talk a little bit about what working with them was like, and like what the dynamic was from the start of meeting each other to the end?
So I remember that first morning, waking up, leaving my buddy's house and taking the Uber to the house. And I remember sitting outside and just thinking to myself, I'm like, what am I doing? I've never done anything like this. And then when we got into the house, into that room, I just remember looking at it, I'm like, wow, I am so not only underdressed, but like, so I have no idea what's going on. But as soon as we went into reading the script, and it was pretty much just like action, for me personally, it was great to really get to know them as people, but also bring that brotherly bond and everything like that. Because I grew up with brothers. So it was just me being who I was with my brothers, with these guys that actually are amazing. I don't talk to Marcus as much as I did when we did the show, but me and Mushaka, we talk every now and again on Facebook and everything like that. And he's a pretty awesome guy, and it's I think that the dynamic and the bond between the brothers just grows as the show kind of goes on. And it's because of, like you guys were saying, us being in that hot area with everyone together, uncomfortable but loving it, because we knew what we wanted to, and we were all there for a genuine purpose, and it was just amazing.
And I think your bonds were like the most readily like synergized. Like you guys like were in the room for 2 seconds and it was electric. Like I think all of us got there eventually, but you guys just had this like really great charisma with each other, like from the get-go. And if that didn't work, like we'd be fine. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You guys just really, really, it was like the perfect, it was like everything in terms of personality type just worked so well together. And then everything else like just kind of fell into place. Because you guys kind of like set the scene literally for the entire world and for the entire series. So like you guys were so important and it just worked so well.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of that,
oh,
no, you go ahead.
Go.
No, you
okay,
go.
I was just going to say that the first time that I listened to this episode and I heard you three, I just had this instinctive, just this reaction of, oh, my boys. Like, they have to be protected at all costs. And then I remembered who I am. And
Groot sucks.
Yes.
Hashtag Groot sucks.
Hashtag Groot sucks.
I wanted to mention about that opening scene, kind of flipping this over to Bob, and I know Christy's not here, but I remember the first time I actually read the script was after Austin Film Fest that was 2017?
It was 2017, yeah.
2017. And you sent me I think it was the first 3 episodes of that. And I remember reading it and like I hadn't done much listening to podcasts at that point either. And so I think I like started looking at it and I was like, this is very ambitious, like for an audio medium with that opening scene. And I think in my head, I was like, I mean, how are they going to pull it off? Like, how is that going to happen? Because like, it felt so big and it felt so visual in my head. Like as I'm reading it, I'm like, yes, I can picture this in my head, but how do you do that with just sound, And I think that this was a big idea for you guys to picture. And then the way that you ended up directing it. And then of course the amazing performances and Adam's sound design in the mix as well, actually brought this huge behemoth of a story to life, because like, there were so many characters to keep straight, but like everybody's got different voices. So it's like, okay, cool. I can tell everybody apart. And then like the different personalities and I don't know, the writing was just excellent. And seeing it first as a script and honestly, like it wasn't doubt necessarily, but it was just kind of like, well, how are they going to do that? Like this is something I've never heard before. So like, are they going to be able to do it? And you guys nailed it. It's so good.
Yeah, I mean, I have Adam to thank for that, and he has me to he did a lot. Yeah, curse, exactly. He did a lot of holding his fist up in the air at Christy and I when reading through the sound cues. But I will say, way back before Windfall even had like been an idea for what the show would be, Adam was the one who was really pushing me to work on a serialized podcast with him. So we'd done standalone pieces like this before. He'd done some sound design. I'd done writing like that. But it was the first time that we were trying to like bring lots of characters together and make one major story. And I think, after having produced it, we would maybe go and smack ourselves in the faces. But the goal that Adam, had was like, we got to make this thing sound massive. He's like, we got to have like Game of Thrones volume of characters and storylines and sound design. And I was like, okay, I'm game. I can do that. And then when it got time to producing, it just about broke him. So, it was an experience, but it was over ambitious from the start. And I couldn't be more happy with how it turned out, both, in the cast and in the ultimate finished production of it.
I will say that the key to making that first scene sound good was I filled up the bathtub halfway.
I remember watching that.
I put on some boots and threw up some microphones and just ran around in my bathtub with my boots on for a while. Totally normal thing to
Holy
do,
baby!
Right? That's
so
adults do that, right?
Yeah,
Well-adjusted, very
Gosh.
sane adults do that.
They pay a lot for that in Hollywood, let me tell you.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay. All right. That's.
Guys, it's
Wasn't
a new
expecting to hear
quarantine
that.
activity.
Yes,
I was.
it's a great time. Throw
I
your
was
boots on,
literally
fill up the
just
tub.
like.
Go ahead, Cornelius.
Josh,
But
you were
I'm-
actually. Oh, sorry, Cornelius, you go.
No, it's okay. I was just gonna ask Adam. I remember when you were sending us the videos of like some of the sounds that you had made. I think you actually filmed and sent that to us, and I remember just looking at it and going, "What is he doing?" If I remember correctly, that was one of them. But there were like a couple of them where I was just like, "What? What are these sounds? How
What
is
is
this
this
going to
for?"
transition?" And
I don't remember this happening in the script. There's nobody running around in a bathtub.
What the?
got my flippy floppies. I was like, no, I didn't sign it.
Dedication.
Oh.
Josh, one thing I was going to say is that you were one of the first people to actually do any recording for Windfall because Jess, who plays Wanda, couldn't unfortunately make it up during our sleepaway camp. So we had you and Jess come out to Adam's apartment at the time, and we Skyped in with Michael Larkin, who plays Tin Man. And I'm curious to hear your thoughts about that experience compared to then being with everyone in the house.
Well, first, I was just super excited to be recording at Adam's place and not shoved in his tiny, tiny closet. So that was already a bonus right there. But it was interesting to record in that tiny scenario as opposed to in the attic at Windfall Camp. Just because I didn't get to interact much with Tin Man while he was remote. Like the connection, I distinctly remember it was like this tenuous thing, and it was just a record while we can, And but then I got to hang out with Jess while things were getting set up, and she's so funny. And she told me about how her Wanda voice is just an impression of her stepmother, which is just fantastic.
Yes.
And then, we took the train back together and we chatted, but like, and it was fun. It was really fun, but like, I don't know. I miss the overall camaraderie of like being with that big group.
Everybody.
Yeah, and like I think the scenes that I was recording at Windfall Camp were mostly with Kaz and Kendall, primarily with Kendall, because I think that's mostly who Root interacts with, aside from Wanda and Tin Man.
Yes.
But yeah, just being up there was so much fun, and just like goofing around in between takes. I I still remember the first time that Cornelius heard me do the Root voice.
Yes.
He was like, "What the hell?"
I was like, what? I was so...
The look on your face was shocked.
Yeah, because up until that point...
Again, I had never done... Yep.
Most prolific voice actor of our time.
The
rain.
So, like, I've never been around other voice actors. And so that being, like, this whole thing being, like, the first stepping stone to any acting that I had ever done, really, outside of, like, school, like, hearing that and hearing his range and everything, I was just like, what? What? And it just, it completely shocked me. And I gotta say, he did an amazing job. Hands down.
Thank you. You too, you know.
Yeah.
I wasn't there for recording, but I am sometimes around, like, doing VDR for my real job, and I wanted to know. I think I probably know the answer to this, but who's got the funniest voice acting faces? Like to get to those voices. You know how
Battles. Battles.
Yeah, she gets super
I
into
feel like
it.
I ugly crying like a lot.
You did do a
you did
lot
it
of
really well.
You did an incredible job. You did it. I had to hold my breath in certain takes with you because of the levels of intensity that you got to. But yeah, no, working with Battles as a voice actor is a full body and face experience for sure.
Because we actually had like kind of a professional like videographer, photographer behind the scenes, and like there's this big unveiling of like behind the scenes photographs of our voice actors, and all mine are like there were no good pictures of me.
Thanks for doing your job.
Just everywhere.
There were times when like you all would go upstairs and you would record a couple of scenes, and then you would come back down, and it looked like just the most intense therapy session had just occurred. Like everyone was either crying or just like close to crying. And the rest of us are just like, what happened up there?
What's going on up there?
No, the best example was that like my real intense scene, I like curled myself in a corner of the attic like all afternoon, like getting mentally prepared, and then I do it, and I come down and there's like a full party, and it was like the biggest mindfuck.
It was so jarring for you. Yeah, no, I remember everybody was trying to get. Everybody was trying to get a group photo at that moment, and I like came up to get you and Adam just looked at me and was like, no, not right now. Everyone needs to shut up, and we need to do this so that we can get Battles out of this place.
Yeah. For that scene, I was like, at first I thought that Battles was pissed at me because somebody was, the scene partner in that was a little late for the scene, and it was already, we were tacking it on to the end of the night, and so it was like the day was getting stretched out, and then I come up into this room, and I'm like, hey, Emily, it's gonna be like a little bit, and like, you're like, all right, and I'm like, oh no, okay, and then I'm like, it's gonna be like I came back up and it was like, it's gonna be like another 20 minutes, and then you're like, okay, and I was like, oh no, like something is really wrong. I have offended Battles deeply, and then I just realized, oh, you were just like consistently fucking yourself up there to prepare yourself.
Like I gotta be ready at any moment.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh,
And
man.
then it was, yeah, that scene. I mean, we've got many more episodes to go before that one, but it's an intense one. There's also I actually pulled up a text. Oh wait, no, I lost it from Leanne that I got. What the role that Leanne was playing was helping me clean up kind of the dialogue and re-edit things. So when we recorded everything, there were like 6-7 mics going on all at the same time, maybe, and so Leanne would chop out any of the dead air, and so Leanne would listen to these like very empty tracks, but I got this message. Right, so this message is mostly for Bob and Christy and also Emily Battles, and I guess, but I don't have any of their phone numbers, so I will give you a message to pass on to them. First of all, how dare you? Literally editing through tears right now.
This was actually, so funny story about that moment. I was, what's the date on that text? Was that?
June 13th.
So for some reason, we were on the East Coast at my partner's place, and I remember I was like up in his like childhood bedroom. I was like, I need like a couple hours to block out to work on this right now, and him and his family were off like doing something else, and I'm like up there and I'm editing or whatever, and he comes up to check on to see if I'm ready to join them in reality or whatever, and he just like kind of walks in. He's like, hey, are you ready? And I look, I'm like and he was like, I'll give you a minute. I'm just like weeping, just like tears tracked down my face. So I get invested.
Oh my God.
If I can say anything, I definitely want to thank Emily for helping me get to a place for those scenes that I had to do that's at a later time. But it was not easy, and it definitely did help me. That was a skill that I didn't have before, so I definitely want to reach out, Emily, and thank you for that. That was a great thing.
Hey, you were great. What are you
Was
talking
but
about?
wasn't. Was but wasn't.
Oh
No, it was not easy, but yes, thank you so much.
my God, you're welcome. Mutual love fest.
Yay. Well, I think that probably covers everything for today, I would imagine, right? Unless
Yeah, I think we're the
guys
only
have-
ones still watching the live stream.
Yeah, probably.
Thank you to the thousands of viewers.
Oh, how many people?
There are 6 people watching right now.
There were
I'm one of
people
them.
watching that? Wait, there were people watching this?
Yeah, we're live streaming.
Oh,
It's okay. I
what?
came on and told
boy.
everyone how
I
drunk
was
I was. So that
It's
was
okay. We're an adult show. We got adult themes.
It's an adult show.
That was
Yeah,
happening at the beginning of the show.
Yeah. But yeah, thanks everybody for watching this one, but thanks to the rest of you guys for joining me on this. Even though it was a small little crew of us, it was fun to be able to kind of like relive the episode with everybody. And
Yeah, seriously, and
try to
I hope
continue
that
to do it again.
everybody can be around next week because we're
Episode
I
2
think we're
next
gonna episode 2 next week. We're just gonna
I'll be
move
here.
our way through it. Windfall Wednesdays.
down.
Windfall Wednesdays are back.
Windfall
baby.
Wednesdays.
Windfall Wednesdays are back.
I'm living for this.
Oh, same.
Awesome.
Literally.
Yeah, yes. All right, well, I love you all, and I love everybody that's watching. Thank you so much for hanging out with us, and we will see you next week.
Yeah.
Thank you
Hang
so
out.
much, guys.
Bye,
good.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Good night.
Stay safe. Please be
Yes,
careful.
Please be
Yes,
careful.
stay healthy.
Love to your loved ones.
Stay healthy.
Yes.
Yep. It's quarantine. Stay home.
Yes.